I can say with absolutely no hyperbole that Baby Driver is the coolest movie I have ever seen. Edgar Wright is probably one of my favourite filmmakers to ever exist. The dude's an absolute idol for me. So much so I've even played around with recreating his work in the past. Edgar Wright to me is what the latest boy band is to the stereotypical teenage girl. As an aspiring filmmaker myself, I often find I'll stay up late into the night laying next to friends and talking about how he's just like so talented as I twiddle with my hair and giggle until I go on and on about it so much that they finally get annoyed, wake up and say, "What the hell are you doing in my house and how did you get in here?" Now the difference between my schoolgirl crush and a young tween schoolgirl crush is that Edgar Wright will never break my heart by selfishly leaving One Direction to start a mediocre solo career. Pillow talk is dreadful, Zayn. You'll never reach the highs of That's What Makes You Beautiful. Stop thinking that you will. Nah, Edgar wouldn't do that. That's not my boy's style, as he just continues to put out exceptional masterpiece after exceptional masterpiece. Hell, even the films I would say were his worst, still for me beat most directors' best. Dude's an auteur. He knows exactly what he wants to make and he goes in with a vision and he knows exactly how he's going to make that vision a reality. Baby Driver is no exception. This is a meticulously crafted, fantastically performed, superbly directed masterclass in movie making. Some would argue the story's nothing to shout home about, but sometimes films aren't about the story, but about the way you tell them. And holy shit can our boy Edgar spin a yarn. The film follows Baby, portrayed by Ansel Elgort, a kinda quirky getaway driver being coerced into doing a series of dirty bank jobs for a terrifying kingpin known as Doc, portrayed by Kevin Spacey. Pretty straightforward heist film stuff, but what follows from this basic premise is the movie equivalent of 10 shots of espresso and a line of cocaine. It's a spectacular musical punch to the senses, with a smooth as velvet pacing that cuts to the beat of the world's greatest soundtrack and never stops dancing to its own rock and roll groove. I just can't get over the level of craftsmanship on display. Absolutely everyone involved in this film's making must have been able to mentally fuse into one perfect movie making machine. The camera work is excellent, the editing is awe-inspiring, and the performances? Holy shit, the performances! Elgort's effort as Baby is full of the kind of quiet charisma that basically guarantees him a future spot as Hollywood's next household heartthrob. I'm not even a girl and I could feel my non-existent ovaries explode with his every casual smile. Lily James' portrayal of Baby's love interest, Deborah, consistently brings out this warm southern charm that's going to make audiences everywhere fall head over heels in love with her the second she appears on screen. The romance between the two is bursting with the kind of flirtatious chemistry that reminds you of your teenage years, except don't kid yourself, you were never this smooth. Contrasting those two are the criminals Baby works with, who are full of personality and character but never for a second don't feel extremely dangerous. Jamie Foxx, Eliza Gonzalez, John Hamm and John Bernthal all have the kind of larger-than-life personas that feel like they're going to burst off the screen any second. They're these amazing charismatic time bombs. You adore their back and forth comic dialogue and performances, but there's always this underlying tension that they could explode at any minute. And this fills the film with this vivid energy that constantly has you at the edge of your seat. If I had to criticise the movie, and I don't want to spoil anything here so I'll keep it subtle and not go too into it, towards the latter end of the film, one character has a change that I just didn't quite buy. It felt very sudden and I didn't believe the motivations behind their actions. I'll say no more than that though, but you'll see what I mean when you watch it. And you definitely should watch it, because I honestly think this is the best movie I've seen all year. To close this review, I just want to say that this is the kind of film that reminds you why you love films. This is the kind of film that actually makes you want to make films. And on an obviously completely unrelated note, I've still got that big announcement coming July 12th, so keep an eye on my Twitter, keep an eye on Facebook and Instagram, and keep watch on the channel as I continue my movie a day marathon. And remember,